In just a few minutes, I'm gonna be turning off the power in my house completely and only using the power in my Cybertruck to power my home. This is Tesla's Cybertruck, and it's the world's first Tesla to be able to do this. But will it work, and how long can I actually power my home for? Let's find out. Before we do that, let me tell you a little bit of how I got this amazing feature. This Cybertruck is a Foundation Series Cybertruck and costs an extra $20,000. It comes with the hardware to install the PowerShare system. However, you don't get the items. It gets sent to a certified Tesla electrician and they install it. So I just wanted to do a quick update. I mean, this video was done maybe 2 weeks ago. I had it ready to go. I mean, you guys know, Tesla is constantly changing the way they do things. So now it looks like they changed the way the PowerShare installation works again. However, I'm still gonna keep the original footage since they may change it back. Now, it looks like when you order a Foundation Series Cybertruck, Beast or no Beast, they now give you a $2,500 voucher, so you can either buy the bundle yourself on the Tesla store and get it shipped to you directly. But you can only do that if you are approved and you schedule it with a Tesla certified installer like Qmerit. It kind of sucks because the voucher is a one-time use only voucher, so it's not like a gift card. And lastly, I'm not even sure if now they cover the installation cost, even if you get the more expensive Cyber Beast model, as it looks like you have to pay for installation regardless. So I guess it's a good and bad thing, but it's always changing and I'll probably change again in a few months. Anyways, back to the video. If you got the regular Foundation Series Tesla Cybertruck, you pay for the installation cost. However, if you paid extra for the Cyber Beast Foundation Series, they cover up to $4,000 for installation fees. The crazy thing is, after Tesla assesses your home and thinks it's not a good fit and they can't do the installation, instead of providing you the hardware for yourself in case you want to install it yourself somehow, they give you nothing. And instead, they either give you supercharging miles or store credit in the Tesla store. Kind of messed up, but whatever. One of the items you're gonna need is a new Tesla universal wall charger. So my old wall charger won't even work for this setup. If anyone wants my old one, drop a like, subscribe, and comment down below. So ideally, once it's installed, if my Cybertruck is connected to my universal wall connector and the power goes out in my home, the Cybertruck should power my house. Cool, right? But wait, isn't this just like a Tesla Powerwall battery pack? I'm glad you asked. Now, the beauty with the Powerwall is that it can take the energy you generate from the solar panels, save it, and allow you to use it when your utility rates are the highest. However, the Cybertruck can't do that. Maybe later in a future software update. However, the only way for you to get power from the Cybertruck is if the power is completely out in your home. The new Powerwall 3 also can store up to 13.5 kilowatt hours and cost $11,000 for one of them. The Cybertruck, on the other hand, has a 123 kilowatt hour battery pack, so it would be cool if we can charge up the truck using solar and discharge it during expensive utility rates. And another question a lot of people have been asking is, what if you already have a Powerwall system? Well, you're in luck. Sort of. I mean, you don't have to add any sort of new hardware installation or anything. It'll just work. And what about someone like me who's going to be installing more solar panels and future Powerwall systems in the near future? Video on that soon. Now, I've been getting a lot of mixed answers, but Tesla said it should be compatible down the road. On the forum, someone posted that it requires Tesla to commission it, and when installing the system, they should install a backup switch or gateway 3 instead of the included PowerShare gateway. So it does seem like it can be done later on if you install the Cybertruck PowerShare first. However, I believe it seems that Tesla has to install your future solar system as well as the Powerwall. So now let's go see what we're working with. We installed solar, tons of videos on it. We still have their Solar Edge, the super old inverter. So I'm curious to see where they're gonna install the entire gateway system. It would be nice if I could install it outside because, as you can see, there's not a lot of wall space here. I don't wanna take up more space in my garage. But let's take a look at this circuit breaker. So this is how our circuit breaker looks. It's a fairly new home. I think I have tons of space to install new stuff. They installed the solar photovoltaic breaker over there, EV charger right here. So hopefully it shouldn't be too difficult of an installation. With our Tesla app, it shows how much energy we're producing with solar, but it doesn't show anything else like how much electricity I'm consuming because I don't have a Powerwall. Now, I'm pretty sure the Cybertruck won't be able to power my entire home, but it should be able to power more important important stuff like my fridge. Now, on Tesla's website, it does say that the Cybertruck output is 11.5 kilowatts, and it should last up to 3 days without any power. But I'm so curious how it works and how the electricians install it. So today we're finally getting the mobile connector as well as the gateway installed in our home. For our installation, we got an email from Tesla that a company called Trout Electric over in Riverside will be doing our installation. They serve all of Orange County, LA, and the Inland Empire. I was kind of worried that Tesla chose the electrician for me, so I looked these people up on Yelp and I was pleasantly surprised. 437 reviews, 5 stars. They have great customer service, they do Powerwall installations, EV charger installations, and not to mention they're Tesla certified. I'll leave their info down below in case you want to schedule something with them. As far as the installation goes, labor as well as permits cost around $4,200. But just keep in mind that your prices may vary based on the economy as well as where you live. But that was the average in Orange County, which is where I am. And the installation isn't an easy process. Apparently when they do it, it takes almost the whole day. They have to shut off the power to your home. It's a pretty big deal. I also had a few questions to ask them, so we'll see what they say or if they even tell me. So I'm so curious why Tesla's being so sus about not giving the customer the hardware and letting us find an electrician ourselves to do the installation. But I think they're here. Enough talk. Let's go ahead and see what we're working with. All right, so now we're gonna turn off power to the entire house. You guys ready? I'm kind of scared. Apparently you're not supposed to do this all the time because it can ruin some sort of transponder configurator thing in there. 3, 2, 1. Let's see if the fridge is out. Holy, my magic mind. Gotta take a shot of my magic mind. Gotta be energized before the PowerShare installation. So here's my breaker box. It's a 200 amp breaker. I learned that now. They didn't remove these ones. They pretty much routed the wires from here into the gateway. And then the Tesla gateway, they had another amp. So it says Tesla gateway right here. That turns the power on and off for the Tesla gateway. So it stayed the same. Very nice job. And I love the look of this. Imagine this with some power walls. Sexy. The circuit breakers for solar. So if someone needs to turn off the solar power in case of a fire or something, it's here now. And here's my Tesla wall connector if I have to reset that. So if the power ever goes out and this is connected to my Tesla Cybertruck, it's gonna power my home. Now, unfortunately, it's not instant. I have to wait for a software update from Tesla in order to do that. So we'll see when I get that software update how it works. So it's been about 2 weeks since I got the PowerShare installation, and then one day I went to sleep and I woke up and it just suddenly added onto the app. So if you look here under controls, just down here, it just suddenly popped up. So now it says PowerShare Home Backup, Beta. My charger is currently plugged in. So it says Home Connected. And then you could also control the discharge limit. So let's say your car is plugged in and you're in an outage. You can control how much you want the car to power your home for, all the way down to 5%, which is insane. And suddenly it just appeared onto my Tesla screen under charging is another PowerShare Home Backup that you can enable. Also, another thing that they added on was the PowerShare gateway. I kind of ran into a small issue because I have solar on one account. I have the PowerShare gateway on another account, and I also have the wall connectors on another account. So technically, if you look here, I have one home. So here is the gateway. So it says that I'm using 0.7 kilowatts, and that is from the grid going into my house. On another one, I have my solar, and it's no sun right now, so I'm not generating anything. And another one, I have my wall connector, and I can't even remove my old wall connector because Tesla has to do it on their end, but they're having issues, so they can't even remove it. I don't understand why they're making this so difficult, but when I try to add it onto one account, it says it's already registered and I can't do that. So one thing I thought I can do, and which is a little unfortunate with the PowerShare, is let's say between 4 to 9 p.m., I can go ahead and make it so the power comes directly from my truck, and I could just enable it on here. Maybe they will allow that in a future software update. However, right now, the only way for the truck to power my home is if there's a grid outage. So if there's a storm or the power goes out suddenly, then that's the only way the truck is technically going to be able to power my home. So as you can see, we have a green power Cybertruck power indicator here, which means it was charging. And if we look up, you can kind of see all the lights are on in my house. So now we're gonna go ahead and turn off the breaker just to simulate a power outage. And let's see what happens. Okay, so we're getting power from the grid. You guys ready? I'm kind of scared. 3, 2. Okay. Did you guys hear that sound? The Powerwall, something kicked on. Nothing changed here on this end though. I don't know if you guys hear, but this is making some weird sounds. So this actually turned on, and then my lights went off for a second, and everything turned back on. So it says it's all purple now. Over 2 days of energy remaining, and the power is going to my home, and it's purple now. Okay, let's go ahead and see if the lights are on. Are they on? The lights are on in my home. There's no power. Took a second, but now it says grid outage on my app. So now it's actually purple, and I'm actually discharging the battery in the Cybertruck to power my home. And because I have most of the stuff on this switch for the gateway, it's actually, everything's just working fine. But let's see if my solar is working. I think the solar might still work, to be honest, because it doesn't say it's offline or anything. It says standby, which means it looks like it still might be working. So I want to see if there's any notification on the Tesla screen. So let's check that out. Look, everything's purple now. So you can go ahead and adjust this. You could stop the PowerShare here. You have approximately 1 day, and you have this new icon here as well, and it's all purple. Pretty awesome how it works. Another thing we were talking about with Trout Electric is that when there is a power outage, one of the main things you want to power is your garage door. And with a lot of the newer garage doors, they have like a backup battery, which only allows you to open it maybe once or maybe twice. But now that we have the PowerShare, it's like we have another home. Literally, I still have no power to the home, but I'm gonna go ahead and open the garage door. Look at that, no issues opening. Wow, interesting. So it's not purple, but it looks like it's charging. So that's so cool. But yeah, so this is the universal wall connector, and looks like it's charging, but it's actually powering the home. That's insane. Coming inside. The one thing they didn't hook up was the microwave and the oven. So as you can see, it's not working, but let's check the fridge. Fridge works. So the power went out, and it literally took like 10 seconds for the gateway to turn on and made like this humming sound. And then the truck just brought the house back to life. That's so cool. So it's a nice feature to have. I know some people already had their Cybertruck, and there were storms in Texas and stuff. They got power for their home, and this is the reason why. It's so awesome. So cool. I can't believe it worked. But now we got Matt over here. He is the president of Trout Electric. But as you can see, he's wearing a Q-Merit shirt. What is that?
So we're in the Q-Merit network. Trout Electric is an electrical contractor based out of Riverside, California.
And of course, we have Scott here as well. Nice to meet you.
Same here.
So I just had a couple questions because for me, this is my first Cybertruck, and I'm sure a lot of people are interested in the Cybertruck as well as the PowerShare. When I got the email from Tesla, and then they said you guys were the certified installer, and I had to take a bunch of photos, like my AC and all that stuff. Like, what are you guys looking for in terms of that?
We're asking for those photos. We're basically taking that as our on-site job log. What we want to see is where the panel is on the house. On yours, it's a good location because it's the side of the garage. Some houses, they're in the back of the house. We want to make sure we know what our distance is from where the panel is to where the car charger is. The other thing we're looking for is the picture of the breakers to where we can do a load calculation to make sure that adding that extra charger or the first charger isn't going to overload that panel as to cause you any problems, you tripping breakers, burning anything up.
I know on the installation quote, it said it's a light load for the Cybertruck power. Does not include things like oven and AC. Is it possible for it to ever include those high power devices?
When we're looking at those pictures, we're looking at the design of your house. Now, if that AC has a higher RLA and it cannot handle that, there are other things that we could do. For example, we could put a soft start on that AC in order to get it included.
So the goal is to include it.
The goal would be to include everything. In a perfect world, the Cybertruck powers your house and your neighbors, right?
Yeah. Cool.
So what we're looking at is A, what's the most cost efficient? B, what is your goals? So we're trying to understand and paint that picture to where we can put together a proposal and do the installation to what you want.
So quick question, are there ever times where Tesla says, okay, you guys can install the PowerShare, but then you guys come on site or take a look at the photos and you can't install it?
There has been times that the load calculation will not come in good enough to put a charger on your existing panel. So there's always a way of getting it done, just a matter of what's the next steps in order to get it done.
How long have you guys been a certified Tesla installer? I feel like it can't be like an easy thing to have. And do you guys own Teslas? Is that why you guys got the insight? Because I'm sure every electrician wants to be a certified installer because the Tesla will say, hey, go to these people because they know what they're doing.
We have been working with Tesla since 2000, I want to say 2011.
Oh, wow, a long time.
So it's been a long time with Tesla. So one of the big things with Tesla is training. And that's another huge thing with Q-Merit also. So Q-Merit has rigorous training. And what that is every single charger, every single device that we install, we have training on it. And that's where Q-Merit comes in. Q-Merit provides that training like what we've done locally. Now Q-Merit's done that across the country. Okay. So whether you're right here in beautiful Orange County, California, or you're in the middle of the country, you're going to be able to get that same installation by a certified trained technician. And it's going to be that same experience that you're getting here today, Chris.
Wow, okay. One thing that I was very curious about, and I think a lot of people on the forums and when they're getting their Cybertruck, is what is Tesla looking for when they're choosing who to let install this PowerShare system? Because I know a lot of people who has a Cybertruck Foundation series, we give them their address and then they just say yes or no. For me, at least they said yes, thank goodness. But someone else in Orange County, they said no, and then they only got like Tesla credit.
That process is more on Tesla.
Exactly. Okay.
All we know is once Tesla gives us that lead and how we take it over from there. But yeah, as far as what Tesla does or doesn't do.
So weird. So I think the biggest thing is because Tesla forces you to choose this certain electrician. I know a lot of people out there, they're wondering like, why do I have to choose this certain electrician? Because what if they charge a crap load? Because I know someone was saying in Northern California at least, their electrician was like horribly rated on Yelp and their prices were extremely expensive to install like the wall connector and stuff. So do you guys offer like any sort of discount or make it slightly cheaper than say like the average person just coming in to install something else?
So we did have pre-negotiated rates with Tesla to be able to keep that price the same. And if your installation looks like this is what your cost would be.
Got it.
Being able to now take that pricing and do that across the country is the goal. Okay. And that's what we're doing now.
We were talking off camera about this, but I'm still a little upset as to why Tesla didn't send the owners and the customers who paid for the Foundation series, the universal wall connector, as well as the gateway to install themselves. Like, why is it that we can't get it?
So the big deal is that it's a new product. And whenever there's a new product, you could go get your own wall charger online. Right?
Yeah.
And you could have anybody install it. Homeowners can install it. I mean, we've ran into customers that had their gardener install it. And what happens there is a less than pleasurable experience for the consumer.
Got it.
So now with something as intriguing and as complicated as the PowerShare, I shouldn't say complicated because it's really not complicated for somebody that's been trained on it, but it's very different than anything else in a home. When a new product comes out like that, it would be extremely dangerous to have anybody just do it. Or even an electrician. I mean, there's great electrical contractors out there that just don't do this style of work and could, potentially not have the best experience for the homeowners.
Oh, I get it now. What if we got approved for it and then I said, hey, I have to move in 2 months. Is there any way that I could get the hardware and then have one of you guys install it at my new house?
If you do have to move within a few months, you just let us know, or whoever you're working with, let us know. We will then make the proper relations to get that to hold it until you move.
Okay, so it is possible. So it's not like there's out of luck. So I kind of know about the PowerShare. Basic is that can power your home. There is a complete blackout. Just for the people out there who want to know more technical details and more specifics, can you guys kind of explain what the PowerShare is and how does it work with the Cybertruck and stuff like that?
So if you look at energy storage systems, for example, the Tesla Powerwall, that's 13.5 kilowatts. Yeah, that's a great system. This truck here is 123 kilowatts.
Yes.
Let's just call it 10 times.
Yeah.
So it's like having 10 Tesla Powerwalls in your house. That's the amount of power that's inside of this truck.
Yeah.
So the cool part is that you have 10 Tesla Powerwalls inside of this truck that's going to be able to power your house.
Got it.
So that's one really cool feature.
Yeah.
The other really cool feature for the Tesla PowerShare system is there is less box on your wall. So because of the truck actually sending AC power out to the house, there's no need for the inverter to go inside of your garage.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of, it condensed the system. And you'll see when we're done, it's a very clean installation to where you're not using a lot of space on your home.
The Powerwall, at least, if you're charging solar from the sun, energy is back into the Powerwall. Number two, a big thing, and I'm sure this can change with software updates, but between 4 to 9 p.m., we could turn off any power to the grid and use strictly our Powerwall to
correct.
that way we don't have to use any extra, because it's expensive, especially in Southern California. Sheesh. You can't do that with the Cybertruck, right? If it's plugged in.
So now, currently, right now, your solar will not work when the truck is the power source for your home. If you have Powerwall associated with the truck, then there is a possibility for the solar to be powered.
If the power goes out, of course, the solar won't work. I don't have the Powerwall. The Cybertruck connected to the solar panels, will I be able to still have the electricity from the sun power my house?
Let's go over and take a look at it real quick and I'll explain it to you.
Okay, perfect.
How solar works is it still needs power in order to operate. Once the grid goes down, your solar system shuts off. Now, current state with the system is it will not work right now. But here's what we're doing to future-proof it, because later on this year, it will have the capability of being able to work. And how we do that is we'll actually bring your solar breaker off of your main panel and we'll put it into the backup load center or the gateway. We'll, in terms, give the solar the power that it needs in order to operate. Once again, though, it's not available right now. But what we're going to do at your house is we're actually going to put the solar in the gateway.
Okay.
That way, when it does become available, it will work like that.
Cool. So another question I had, and a lot of people in the comments and people in the community were asking is, we wanted to add a Powerwall later on. Is it possible?
There's always a way.
Okay, so
That's
it is
the answer.
possible.
Yeah, there's always a way.
Okay. And on the website, they said that if you have a Powerwall already, there's no need for the gateway or anything. Is that correct?
So if you already have a Powerwall installed,
Yeah.
we can come right off of either the gateway or the backup load center. As long as the load calculation, we have to do the same thing on that backup loads. Usually it downsizes. You have a 200 amp main. They may have only put a 100 amp backup load center in. So we have to make sure that the load calculation comes in good to be able to add the truck to that. As long as that comes in good, we can definitely just come right off of that with the charger. It is not ready to work with the two yet, but we can get it pre-ready to where once that firmware update comes out, we just tie in the communication lines and it's off and running.
Anyways, thanks so much for coming and doing the installation. It's super professional. Everyone was super nice. They know exactly what they're doing. If you guys live in Southern California, make sure to call and contact Trout Electric. They do EV charger installations and anything electric. Thanks so much for having me.
Awesome. Thanks for having us.
Yep.
My pleasure.
I appreciate it. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. See you guys next time.